How to get Google Chrome tamed, or living with Google Chrome. I have a portable version of Google Chrome, and I'm currently testing the one that runs under XP and above, because that was the least problematic one. It's a portable version of Google Chrome because I don't hate myself. When I run it, it runs. When I close it, it's supposed to shut up and disappear from my computer's memory and not leave anything hanging out on the computer. That's a pipe dream. It doesn't really happen, but I want to do that as much as possible. I want as much control over the situation as possible. And Google Chrome is notorious for taking a freakishly large amount of time to start up the first time. And it's notorious for keeping track of you and doing a bunch of dirty tricks. Again, coping with Google Chrome. Chrome://settings/clearBrowserData, enter. That is what you type in the address bar. It will then bring up the option for you to set how far back it erases everything. Say all of it, forever, to the beginning of time. Select everything it's supposed to erase. Tell it to erase everything. Don't argue with me, just do it. And then hit the OK button. Make it the start page for when you start up Google Chrome. Make it a button on your screen by just having the bookmark bar sitting there. That's the end of the video. That's what you have to do to get it first stage under control. We're just talking about the thing when you're typing something in the address bar. It doesn't bring up a bunch of suggestions as easy. It doesn't hound you about everything it knows you typed. Now you can look under Chrome://settings and look for privacy, search equals clear, privacySandbox disabled, sync setup. There's hundreds of things. You can also look Chrome://flags and look for autofill, use-improved-label-disambiguation, autofill itself, predictors, flags, autocomplete. You can look up hundreds of variations of this. But if you just explicitly tell it, erase all of this crap and stop recording it every single time you start the browser and every time you shut it down, it really has a lot less it can play with. It's incredibly aggressive about not erasing things. Unless you do this one stupid trick right on startup and then right when it shuts down, it eventually kind of gets it through its thick skull that it's going to leave things erased. You could go to Chrome menu, settings, show advanced settings at the bottom, hit privacy, use prediction services to help complete searches and URLs typed in the address bar and turn that off. It does not do what it says it does because, again, to make you think you're taking crazy pills, the more you tell a corporation no, the more they say no means yes. And yes, I intended it to sound that creepy, because it is. Chrome://flags/ you can look up Omni. That's for the Omni box, otherwise known as the address bar. It's the everything box. You can look in there and find a bunch of things that says it's doing. Good luck looking up what each of them is. I recommend you do that. I recommend you do that by ignoring every page Google provides immediately because, again, they're creepy and they're lying to you. Chrome://version. Very useful. You can look under profile path and you might see users, your name or the name you typed in or whatever, admin, AppData, local, Google, Chrome, user data, default, or in my case, it's whatever Google Chrome directory I have, data profile default. That's a portable version. In that, you will find the following lists of files that have no extension on the end, and maybe some subdirectories like cache that would normally contain a bunch of data here. And some of these you can erase, and some of them you need to leave alone because it'll put you back to the Stone Age and it'll forget every instruction you gave it you wanted it to retain. The browser has to retain some data. What some people do, admins on networks, is they completely scrag the whole thing, erase it, and then reinstall it every time you exit it. So that what happens is when you're starting the computer, it's got a blank copy that doesn't know a damn thing. That's how hard it is to get this thing to shut up and stop recording and keeping notes on you. Things you'll want to keep when you look at them. Preferences and secure preferences. This is a set of copies of what you told the thing to do. Like what you want it to do as far as behavior. Sometimes it's for things like what you want your plugins to do. Bookmarks, again, don't erase them. Transport security, that may be something you need to keep, maybe not. Things you want to erase that seem very obvious: history and visited links, so it doesn't have the ability to record these things. Now, the next one seems weird. Network action predictor. This is anything it's trying to predict, anything it's trying to help you with is getting in the way. If you're trying to type something in the address bar and it keeps dropping down a drop down and distracts you, or worse, when you hit enter when you're done, it ignores what you typed and picked the first thing in the list, you're going to have to turn these off or not. This is under Chrome / predictors if you want to look them up. But we're in Chrome looking up flags. Or more accurately, we're looking up the directory structure. Network Action Predictor is a file. It contains what it's going to do in the dropdown. And again, Chrome / settings / clearBrowserData will actually erase all of this, or most of it. I've checked it, and unless it's hiding it somewhere even more clever, and again, I'm using a portable version to try to catch it pulling shit, it really does erase most of this, and it gets rid of the drop-down annoyance, and if you hit enter, it actually does what you tell it to do. It instead of picking random thing that Google told it to look up. But anyway, the things you'll want to look into that may be there. Login data and login data journal. I do not approve of a web browser retaining any of my passwords and logins. And if it says login, that also means it's going to retain your passwords. It doesn't matter if it's encrypted, hashed, or otherwise, you need to get rid of it. Now, there's a bunch of other directories into there. I grabbed a list of them that are potential. One of them, very simple, is like last sessions and last tabs, which you may want to retain. Last visited links, or just visited links, and the cache. Depending on what level of security you want, privacy, or just tell it to stop recording, all of these may be useful. Cookies, cookie journal, extension cookies. That's for the extensions. Well, what happens is, in order to make a plugin like telling YouTube to not autoplay or tell YouTube to block shorts, it saves its settings in a cookie. But at least the browser's aware it's not really a cookie. It's the cookie that your web page-like settings area for your plugins uses. Again, you may or may not need to delete them. Favorite icons and Favicons-Journal. The ones that say journal are normally 0 length, but the files that are larger have data. History and history provider cache and history journal. Network action predictor and predictor journal, etc. It just keeps going on and on. Origin bound certifications, you might want to leave alone. Quota manager, shortcuts, websites. That's just the most generic example of something that may be something you need to erase. Again, you can look at the directory structure, hit the history eraser button. That's what that link is going to be called. It's called history eraser button. That's what I named the Chrome history eraser button. That's what I'm calling it. Patent that. Anyway, all it does is it just runs the page where you hit OK to clear everything. The only thing that make it faster is if you went there, set it and forget it, and then just hit the eraser button. Or G, if it would erase things on exit like it says it does. Again, Google is an evil corporation, and they lie to you about what it does. I don't care what bullshit they claim is a good reason to do something. If they explicitly say, erase my private data so you can't get it at Google, and it does exactly the opposite, that's evil. Now, others, lots of others, are going to be in other videos I'm doing. So literally it's a single click to get the page up, and then you clear it, and you do it just before you exit, and I recommend right after you start it. Does 90% of the cleanup. Yes, I know that it's literally saying it's going to do what you tell it to, but it really does seem to do what I'm telling it to do. And again, this will hopefully reduce or eliminate the drop-down annoyance and it ignoring when you hit enter, because it assumes when you're typing up here, whatever it wants you to look at right below what you typed is what it's going to take as enter. And I can't find a way to get rid of that except to do this. This made it behave itself. But then again, there's a bunch of, again, functions like turning off all of the Omnibox flags, which I did. everything the Omnibox wanted to do, I turned off, and the web browser kept working. So maybe that's needed. So yeah, and again, it's not the URL bar or the address bar. They call it an Omnibox, so it's harder to find it in the listing. And again, this obscuring of our ability to control how much data we leak or if we leak it is purely intentional. This has been your guidebook on Google Chrome, controlling it one more layer deep, mostly to get rid of annoyances, but mostly so that you can have a history eraser button, because that seems to bitch slap it into submission faster. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. There'll be more videos on this, unfortunately.